Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb, and today we're taking a look at another KTANE module tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look at a relatively longer module, robot programming. So this module itself is not actually that difficult, but rather it's just a long series of commands that you have to input on the module. So the way that this module works is that you'll have 4 directional arrows, a big display, and a small display. And what this will do is the small display will show 2 numbers. These 2 numbers, 14 and 5, will determine what each of the specific top half and bottom half parts of the bigger display are. So this would be how you would give it to your expert, is you would say 14, 5, and then the different shapes of the colors of the robots that we have down here. These robots it's also important to give the colors as well. These robots have different types of commands that you must input based off of each of their personality traits. So we're going to use this little flowchart to determine what each of our personality traits are using this list going downward, and we will assign them left to right. For example, if we happen to end up on this 4th one right here with R2-D2 being first, it would be R2-D2 in the yellow, Fender in the blue, Hal in the 3rd, and Rob in the 4th. So that's how that works. So anyways, let's go down this list. It's also important to note that the bottom display down here actually inputs the last 3 commands that you enter into the module. You'll see that once we start doing that. So the first condition is red or green in the first position. The first position is referring to these down here, not the exits up top for each of them. So red or green in the first position? No, yellow is in the first position in this case. So we're going to go down here. Next up, hexagon is yellow. The hexagon in this case is blue, so that is obviously not true. And finally, the last condition is triangle is in the 3rd position. In this case, triangle is in the 4th position, so that is automatically a no. And our order is going to be yellow is Rob, blue is Hal, red is R2-D2, and green is going to be Fender. I'll mark that as Fend for right now. And if you happen to recognize quite a few of these names, they are familiar types of different robots. Now, each robot will have a completely different command. Now, what we have to do is address what each of these commands are. Rob will follow your commands perfectly. So if you want to go up, you go up. If you want to go left, you go left. If you want to go right, you go right. There's nothing really spectacular about him. He will be the nicest one that there is. Next up, next up is Hal. Hal will do the complete opposite of your commands. So if you want to go up, you would press it down in this case, because the opposite of down is up. If you want to go right, you go left, etc., etc. So just input the opposite of your commands. Next up, things get a little bit more interesting with R2-D2, as R2-D2 will alternate between the 2 of Rob and Hal. So Rob will follow the commands perfectly, and then it will do the exact opposite. So it's an alternation between the 2, always starting with Rob. And finally, we get to our last character, Fender. Fender is a little bit more interesting, and I'm gonna grab the serial number because he comes into play with this. The 7 Alpha 9. Zulu Alpha 9, Zulu Victor 6. So what exactly does Fender do that makes him so special? And probably the hardest part about this one. Probably the hardest part about the module. Fender will move according to the serial number, which we grabbed. Fender will start by looking at the first character of the serial number, and if it is a number, Fender will act like Rob for that turn. If it is a letter, however, it will act like Hal for that turn. So in this case, our first character is a letter. So as we said here, letter, it will act like Hal for that turn. And once it goes through all 6 characters of the serial number, it will loop back to the first and continue on therefore. So the order will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continuing all of that. So, the best way to do this is to understand that you have to plan out pretty much every single move that's going to be here. And what we should do is write each of the individual strings for each of the robots. This is personally the way that I do it. You can do whatever you want, whether it be visualizing it in your head or whatnot. So what's important to know about what is important to note is that we must do each of these strings and input them with their respective when their respective color shows up. After each specific press, this little middle light right here will change. So we would press the button that we would move for blue, then whatever color comes next. So let's actually plan out each of these specific characters here. So let's start with our first one, Rob. So Rob needs to get to the yellow exit right up here. So let's just simply do, and remember Rob's rules will follow your command perfectly. So let's go up, and these will be labeled as cells. These positions are always in cells. So it would be, we would have to go up 1, 2, 3. So we would be right there now. And then a fourth one to be up in that corner. So 4 times up. Then we'd go right, and we go up, up, right, up. And that would be our command sequence for yellow. Next up, let's do Hal appropriately, because obviously these guys are going to have to come out of that little corner. There is no other way for them to get out of there. So let's do this. So Hal is the complete opposite of your commands. So we need to go from blue to blue up here. So we want to go up. So we need to press down twice. So we're right here at this little T part right here. Then we go, we need to go right, so we would go left twice. Then we need to go up twice, so we go down twice. We need to go right once, so we go left. Then we need to go up twice again, so we go down twice. Another left to go right, and then another down to go up. That's Hal taken care of. Next up is R2-D2. So starting with Rob, we will start with the move Rob, and then we would move over to Hal. So our red here needs to go up to the top left right here. So let's go 2 lefts. So in this case, we would do left for Rob, and then a right for Hal. And then we'd be right where the blue one is. Then we need to go up 4 times. So we would go up, down, considering Hal moving up. So we're up right here. So let's go left and then down to go up. Left and then down. So we're right here at the middle part. Then we need to go up, and then we need to go right to go left. So up, right. And then finally we need to go up. Last but not least, Fender. So this is probably where the most interesting part gets into play. So we have 2 letters, then a number, 2 letters, then a number. So we would essentially proceed to do 2 opposites, then a Rob, 2 Hals, then a Rob, 2 Hals, then a Rob, and then repeat. So 2 opposites, we need to go right, we need to go left 1, 2, 3, 4 times to get to right here. Let's go left, so let's go right twice, then left. So we're at the 3rd character of this, we just did the first 3 characters of the serial number. Then let's do right again. So we would be right there. Then we'll do down to go the opposite way. And then we'll go up, because we've done our first 6 characters, because that was a number. So now we are going to be right around here. And it is probably best for us, let's see which one would have the shortest moves. There would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it doesn't matter actually which way we go. Personally, this just seems a little bit easier, just going down, up, left, right, instead of all these turns here and there. So let's do that. So we're currently at this T section. We've done our first 6 characters. We need to go up 2 more. Since we've started since we've done our first 6 characters, we know that we need to do the first 2 characters in reverse. So we can go essentially down twice. So now we're at the top right corner for green. So next up, we are at a number currently right now, so we're going to go left because that's the direction we need to go. So we're right here. And then our next 2 characters need to be the opposite. So that would be another down, down. That will take us right there, right in between the red and the yellow, right there. And then we need to go one more time to the right, and then we start back at the beginning again. So we're right below the yellow. And then finally, just to make sure, 12 characters should be selected. Yes. Okay, so now we've started back at the beginning. So for our last 3 moves, we need to go left, 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 left to be at below the green, and finally 1 up, because that is a rob. Now what we're going to do is essentially I'm going to do the first moves for each of these characters, and whatever order the color order is, I'm going to essentially just swap it around. So our first character is going to be blue. So our first move for that is going to be down. So let's press down. Next up is green. And the order will not always be from left to right. It is important to note that. So what we would do essentially is just go down columns here and just keep doing that. So our first move for green is right. Next up is red. Our first move for red is left, and our last one is yellow. And like I said down here, this little smaller display will show the last 3 inputs that you had in case you lose track somewhere along the lines. So now our first move for yellow is going to be up. So now what we're going to do is essentially just keep repeating each of the commands going down in each column. I'll zoom in on this. So next up, next up we're going to input down, right, right, up. So down, right, right, up. Then left, left, up, up. Then left, right, down, up. So left, right, down, up. Then down, down, up, right. Down, down, up, right. Then down, up, up. So down, up, up. Then left, down, left, up. So left, down, left, up. Left, down, left, up. Then down, 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 right. 3 downs. 1, 2, 3, right. Then down, left, up, up. Then down, left, up, up. Now, let's pay attention to this because we've run out of commands for yellow. Now, what exactly do we do for this after we've run out of commands? If you've noticed that we have these little buttons down here, what these will do is essentially block off, will block and lock in place each little robot so that it stops giving commands and that it means that it's reached its destination. So we've reached our destination with yellow. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press the yellow block right here. Or what's the name for it? It will lock in a robot, essentially. So let's press this button to lock in the robot. So now, let's continue on with the rest of these characters while considering to block it in. So next up, our next column is left, down, right. So left, down, right. Then a down, down, up. So down, down, up. And then we're going to block off the blue and the red. So red and blue. And let's finish off the green. And as you'll notice, if we press right, it will not show us any other additional colors. It will continue showing green because that's the last color we have yet to input. Then left, left, and up. Now, I'm going to emphasize here why this is important because we would normally press the start command, but I'm going to emphasize why locking them in is important because even at the end, especially, we've inputted all of our commands. And let's just say we press start. But if we forget the last color, there's a reason why we cannot do this because watch. We press start, you'll see them all moving around, inputting their commands, seeing them as they reach their destination. It is actually important to note that if you happen to reach the command without locking this one in, it still solves. It would be personally better to actually do so. Just as long as you don't go over your commands, which I have done personally one time before, it will still solve. So just preferably lock into each command, but as you can see, that just solved the module. Let's take a look at another one. And for those of you who don't know what that solve sound was, that was Mr. Roboto by, I believe, Sticks, if I'm correct. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Mr. Roboto. I freaking type. Yes. So that's what that song is from, if you have listened to that. All right, let's take a look at another example. And to emphasize why this bottom part would help on voice, I really didn't use this at all. What it essentially does is it displays where the exits are on the top half. So 10 would be our top half, and as you can see, it is the exact same. It appears the exact same way on the module for the top half, and then 14 for the bottom half. Where's 14? There it is. As you can see, we only have those two little spots right down there, with the gap of 3 in between. Yep. So that's how you would emphasize it on voice, but you would still have to read out each of the specific colors and their specific shapes. So let's continue on. Let's figure out this example, and this will probably be the last example I'll cover for this, just because it's pretty straightforward after you just get used to the commands. Let's also get our serial number. It appears to be the same case as we have last time. So Alpha Bravo 2, Foxtrot Golf 8. Let's take a look at this. So, red or green in the first position. That is true. We have a red in the first position, so yes. However, the hexagon is red, it is not yellow. So we're going to follow this no path down here. And is triangle in the third position? That is true, indeed. So yes, so our order is going to be red is Hal, yellow is R2-D2, green is Fender, and blue is Rob. So let's do this. So what exactly will we do for this? So let's do Hal first, because this appears to have the simplest path. So you can either go from left to right normally, but there are cases like this where you have to consider the possibility of robots actually bumping into each other, which could cause problems and cause the module to strike. So we have to consider probably the ones that have the shortest path to take and the ones that have the longer paths to take. So personally, what I'd recommend is try and consider the two that have to go first, because red and green have to go first because of them blocking the path for the yellow and blue. So we have to determine which one has the shorter path in order for them to not bump into each other. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to this point, and 1, 2, 3, 4. They both have the exact same distance to get to that point to get to the rest of the exits. So we have to actually have one of our commands do a cycle of a little back and forth. It's like a left and right, or an up and down, in order to let that robot go through. So, for example, let's just try and choose the simplest robot. In this case, we have a red and a green, which is between Hal and Fender. And quite frankly, I'd rather get Fender out of the way as quick as possible. So I think I'm going to focus on that one first. And have Hal do the left and the right when it gets to the corner. So personally, I'm going to do that to give this enough space and time to continue on. So let's calculate Fender first, just to get the hardest part out of the way, and also for the sake of not striking. So letters, if we remember, will act like Hal. So the first two turns are going to be acting like Hal. So we need to go up twice, so let's go down twice. Then we need to go, then we are currently Rob right now, because of the numbers acting like Rob. So Rob will act like, act normally, so we need to go left next. And then we have 2 more cases where we act like Hal. So we're gonna go right to go left, and we're gonna go down to go up. And finally, we act like Rob again, so we're gonna go up again. And then we're 3 spaces below the yellow. Hold on a moment. Apologies for that. I thought I heard someone at the door. So now, we've gone through 6 of our commands here. We've gone through each of our 6 commands, looping back to the beginning. We are right below the yellow. So let's go right twice. But since we're acting like Hal, we would go left twice. And now we're very close to the green. So we need to go up once because we're Rob at this point. We're at our 3rd character in the serial number, being a 2. And then we need to act as Hal twice again. So we would go down, down, and that would lock in our command. And that's all we have to worry about. Next up, let's calculate Hal. So we need to go the exact opposite of our commands. So we would go down, down to go up, up, and we're at the corner. Next up, what we're going to do is we're essentially just going to go pacing left and right. So we would go left to go right and right to go left to put us back into the corner. And that should give enough space for the green to go ahead. So, we would go down, down for the green. We would be right there. The left and the right would take it to the center. And then we would be right there when it is at the center. So that is more than enough space. So now we can continue along. So we would go then right. We would go right, right. So we would go left, left in this case. Then we would go down, down to go up, up. Then we go right, right to go left, left. And then we'd go down, down, down to go up, up, up. And then we have our red taken care of. Next up, I'd probably calculate R2-D2 next, because Rob we can just do whatever we want at the end. So next up, let's calculate R2-D2 starting with Rob. I'd personally say we should probably go to the right, considering that red is already going to be up there. Let's count the number of moves if we were to proceed normally. So we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would take us 6 times to get up there. For the red, it would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have another case where this could cause a collision. So what we're going to do for R2-D2 is do another forward, another left and right. So in this case, actually, it's probably better that we follow the red so that we're guaranteed to have to go left and right, or an up and down in this case. So let's go actually with the red. So let's go left, and then we go right because we're Hal now. So we're at the corner. And then we'll do an up and a down. So up, down, and then, or an up and an up, excuse me, because that would just take us up and then back down. Then we would do an up, down to put us at the corner, and that would be where the red would be right there. And then we can follow the path as normal. So we're currently at the corner right now. We can go, we would go right, left to go right, right. We would go up, down to go up, 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 down to go up, up. Right, left to go right, right. Up, down to go up, up. Left, right to go left, left. Left, right to go left, left. And then lastly, up to get us to yellow. And finally, Rob. Rob is very simple for us, so we really do not have to worry much about this, but we also have to take into consideration making sure that we don't bump into the yellow command. So, probably what I'm going to do is just paste some left and rights, honestly. So let's just do a left, right, because it's just better to play it safe at this point and not have to bump into any of the other characters. any of the other robots, excuse me. So now, after we've done 4 commands, that should be more than enough leeway to get us from this corner, get up to here, make sure we don't bump into any other robots, and call it good. So next up, we're going to go from this corner, because these 2 moves were just there. We're going to go left, left, up, up. We're right up here. Then we do another left, left. Then we have up, up. So we're currently right here. Then we do right, 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 right. And then we do up, up, up. That should hopefully be more than enough to get us where we need to be. So now let's start entering in our commands. So our first person is going to be blue. So that's what we're going to be looking at first. So we're going to do left. Next up is green. Green is down. Red is down, so that's already in order. And then a left for yellow. Now we're going to continue down these columns. So we're going to do right, down, down, right. Right, down, down, right. Then left, 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 up. Then right, 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 up. Then left, down, left, up. Then a, so down, left, up. So left, up, left, down, right here. Then up, left, down, right. Up, left, down, right. Then up, left, down, left. Up, left, down, left. Then left, up, right, up. So, left, up, right, up. Then left, down, right, down. Then left, down, right, and then down. And then up, down, down, right. Up, down, down, right. And now we're going to block green. Blocking green. Then up, down, left. Up, down, left. Then right, down, up. So right, down, and up. And now we're going to block red because we're done with red. Then a right, down. Then a right, left. Then a right, right. Then an up, up. Blocking yellow now. And then an up, up, lastly for blue. Blocking blue. We're going to submit. Watching all of these commands follow them exactly. No robots are running into each other. And we're good. And just like that is a module solved. That's all I'm going to do for this one because this takes a while, obviously, and there really isn't much else to explain about this module. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.